this is AE Review.
Welcome to Sydney now.
Thank you.
So coming from a small town in Vermont, did you ever imagine yourself touring in Australia at this point in your life?
No, I really didn't. I can't even imagine touring anywhere, especially not in an awesome country like Australia. This is super surreal to me, but I'm so happy to be here.
That's awesome. So how did you get started in music?
I grew up kind of writing and singing, and I always wanted to be a singer, but when I got into high school, I started playing a lot of open mics and kind of getting more serious about it, and I put some of my music on SoundCloud, and kind of overnight, it was crazy. It kind of just took off, and people started listening to it by the thousands every day, and it was such a trip. And then I got in touch with a manager in Nashville who came to see me in Vermont and brought me out to LA, and I started working with producers and writers who kind of made me realize how much I could do with music, and I ended up signing a deal that same year, and kind of off I went.
What is your songwriting process like?
I think the process develops and kind of changes based on what I'm doing and where I am, but the ideal process for me is just being able to kind of take in the experiences I've been having and sit down somewhere quiet where I can kind of be on my own with my thoughts, and I usually write out lyrics first, and I get a concept in my head, and then I kind of fiddle around with different melodies and different ideas on the guitar, and I work them all together, and I usually take a long time to write each song and kind of let the song happen naturally instead of trying to force it all at once. And yeah, usually that's the way it goes. Youngblood is a song I wrote when I was kind of alone in my small town of Stratford, Vermont, kind of during the winter, and all my friends had gone off to do college and kind of the traditional route that you go to after high school, and I was feeling really kind of just disjointed in what I was doing and what I was trying to accomplish in music, and I didn't really know where I was going, and I just wanted to write a song that could kind of reassure me to the path I was on. And so I kind of just sat down and I wrote it as kind of a mantra to myself, just to keep myself grounded and to keep my head on straight and always believe in what I was doing. And it's really cool to see it connect with people in different ways, and people can take are drawing their own result from it, and kind of finding ways to reassure themselves in their own lives, in their own situations. So it's been really cool. It's been really cool to see that happen. And Hold It Down is just a song I wrote about a year and a half ago, and it's just kind of about dealing with the emotional result of kind of doing really well in something, and while still kind of not feeling the payoff that you think is expected with success. Like I'm a regular person like anybody else, and even though sometimes things go really well for me, I still have doubt and fear that I kind of have to deal with as things go along. And Hold It Down is just kind of another reminder to myself to, I don't know, kind of work around those feelings, yeah, even as things get crazy.
And so you work with Joel Little on some of your songs. How was that? What was it like working with him?
Joel is awesome. Joel is like, he's obviously an incredible producer with an amazing kind of CV in terms of the projects he's done. But what I love about working with Joel is that he's able to kind of just treat you like a regular person, and he's kind of just seems like such a down-to-earth guy. You don't really feel like you're working with this like super successful, famous guy. He's just this incredibly talented, like down-to-earth guy who's able to kind of like see things in music that you sometimes can't see yourself, and he's able to like realize the sound, which is really what I think he's done for me. And I'm so grateful to be able to work with him, and excited to do more. The stuff we've got coming out is really, really dope.
And who are some of your biggest musical inspirations?
Well, yeah, I grew up like listening to my mom's iPod because that's like the only access I had to music, and she like listened to a lot of like Paul Simon and Crosby, Stills and Nash and Counting Crows, and kind of just like bands that were able to elicit like, I don't know if it's like a nostalgia or some sort of emotion that you don't really know what it is, but it just makes you feel something really special. And they're able to kind of be introspective and say a lot with a little, and I just kind of grew up trying to recreate that, and I think that that plays a big part of the songwriting I do now. Definitely.
Yeah, I can see that. So you've just come off touring with the Milky Chance. What was it like playing alongside those guys?
It was crazy. I mean, the biggest show I'd done before playing Milky Chance was at a gelato shop in my small town. So,
Amazing.
you know, it was a huge change, and I wasn't really prepared for like the real gravity of playing for so many people and kind of the emotions you feel after a show like that is just incredible. And they're such a talented band, and I listen to their music all the time. So it was really surreal, and they were great guys, and the shows were so cool, and it was incredible. It was like, I mean, way more. It was everything I thought it was going to be and more, definitely.
And how did you feel performing your music for such a big audience?
I mean, it was definitely scary. It's a very vulnerable feeling, you know, playing for people and kind of opening yourself up to a crowd, especially if you're opening for an act. You know, aren't really the people they're there to see. So it's awesome when you can play your own music and like they still connect with it, and it means that you know you have something kind of cool. And it was definitely reaffirming and kind of my confidence in the music I'm making and the path I'm on. Definitely.
Do you have any crazy road stories?
Well, I got mono, so I maybe partied a little bit too hard, and by the end of the tour, I was just so sick. And then I went home. I went to LA to record, and then I was just like so sick, so I had to go home for like a month. And so now I need to take it way easier on the next tour.
Okay. Yeah, and your upcoming tour across the U.S. Are you excited for that?
Yeah, I'm so excited now that I've learned how to like kind of not get sick and kind of take it easier on tour, and the nuances of being on the road and traveling all the time. It's gonna be super exciting. I mean, and playing for big groups of people every night is just like the biggest thrill ever. So it's definitely better than the gelato shop. Definitely does not even compare. So yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
That's really exciting. What city are you looking forward to?
I'm really looking forward to playing Boston because a lot of my family lives in Boston, and obviously Vermont is kind of the closest place to Boston for them. So they can they're all gonna come see me, and it's cool to have them there supporting me, and they can tease me and keep me grounded. So it's always good.
That's exciting. And speaking of keeping grounded, your songs have been doing amazingly on Spotify. Debuted at number 5 on the US Spotify playlist. Did you expect that sort of reaction when you put them out?
No, I really didn't. It's like so crazy. I'll like wake up like sweaty, get out of bed in my boxers, and like go downstairs and like go on Spotify, and it's like, oh my god, I'm number 5. Like holy shit! It's like it's kind of like a feeling you can't really explain. It's just such a surreal moment to see that your music's impacting so many people, and it's just like a couple songs I wrote in my barn, you know, and when you get that kind of reaction, it just like really makes you feel like you're doing something right. It's incredible. I want to keep chasing that feeling, definitely.
And writing music in your barn versus recording in the studio, how does that feel different in your creative process?
I mean, I think what's great about working with a guy like Joel in terms of being in the studio is that he just makes you feel like you're at home. You know, he seems like a friend or like a little bit older friend. So like it kind of feels just like I'm able to be completely creative and I'm totally in control of what I'm doing, and it's definitely not very intimidating, and it's not as intimidating as I thought it would be. And it's a creative process that works really well when you're working with somebody that's able to understand exactly what you're trying to do and gets where you're coming from as a person and as an artist.
And so after you finish your tour across the United States, what's up next for you?
I think we're gonna be just keep rolling out music every month or so as we have been, and kind of trying to get back in the studio and to do more writing and more recording, and hopefully getting an album out there when we can. And I mean, sky's the limit, I guess. You know, things are going so well. Unless something terrible happens, guys, keep listening. We'll be fine.
So, and do you have any dream collaborations? Any people you want to work with in the future?
Yeah, there are so many people I want to work with, but if I could work or just like play for like 30 seconds with Hosier, then like my life would be complete. Or Ben Howard. So if you guys are free, Ben and Hosier.
If you're listening.
Yeah, hit me up.